Hey, and welcome to the Winning Daily Show. We're here on Sunday, August the 22nd. We got a handful of stuff to get to today. We got some Major League Baseball. We got the finals of the Cincinnati Masters in tennis. We got the Michigan race in NASCAR, and we got a couple more soccer bets to get into, and of course we're going to throw in an NFL preseason game as well. So let's get into it. Let's start out in Major League Baseball. We're going to keep riding the Milwaukee Brewers. They lost for us the first two times we took them, but yesterday they finally bounced back and got that win over the Washington Nationals. We think they will continue that trend and win one more over the Washington Nationals. We got Adrian Hauser on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers at a 3.55 ERA, so I'm feeling pretty good here that he will shut down this Washington Nationals lineup. Sean Nolan for the Washington Nationals, not much to go on. One start here, 3 innings pitched, and a lot of runs given up. So let's ride with the Brewers one more time to even this series up versus a very poor Washington Nationals team. And then we're going to take a bit of an underdog here. We're going to take the New York Mets plus 160 versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Mets have been in a very big tailspin, and other than that one win versus San Francisco in 12, they have lost a lot of games on a row, including 3 straight to the Los Angeles Dodgers in this series. So we think that breaks today. Marcus Stroman on the hill versus David Price. Stroman's been pretty good this year. 2.84 ERA with a 1.112 whip, and we think that goes on today. He loves these big games, and we think he gets the win today. And I think the price on this is really good. Plus 160 for the New York Mets. So if they can get a couple hits here, I think Marcus Stroman shuts down the Los Angeles Dodgers, and you get a good price here at plus 160. A lot of money to be made on this New York Mets team. Let's see if the Mets can get this one and break that losing streak to the Dodgers. All right, let's go to tennis. The finals of the Cincinnati Masters in the men's. We got Andrei Rublev versus Alexander Zverev. Nice win by Rublev yesterday to take down Denis Medvedev, and Zverev battled it out in a really good matchup versus Tipsas to get to the final. Really impressive final by Rublev to win that Denis Medvedev match, and we're going to ride him here at plus 200. So a couple underdogs we're going to ride here. Andrei Rublev plus 200 over Alexander Zverev. Both these guys are playing really well right now. Rublev, we mentioned, with that win over Medvedev yesterday, 6-3, 6-3 after losing the first set to 6. And Zverev, who's coming off the gold medal win at the Olympics, has pretty much really played well at this Cincinnati Masters. We're making a bit of a play here that Rublev is just playing good tennis and is on fire because head-to-head this matchup does not bode in our favor. Zverev is 4-0. Overall versus Rublev with 3 wins on hard courts. I will say they played in the Australian Open in 2020, and it was a 6-4, 6-4, 6-4. So a couple tight sets there, so maybe Rublev is getting better and better, but we're just going to ride it. Great win by Rublev over Denis Medvedev, and maybe he finishes this out and gets the win over Zverev and the plus 200 price. All right, let's move on to NASCAR. Big race in Michigan today, so we got a couple guys we want to take today. We're going to ride Kevin Harvick, we're going to ride Joey Logano, and then we're going to take a couple place bets in Chris Buescher, Kurt Busch, and Eric Amaola. We're going to start out with Kevin Harvick here. We're going to take a winner bet on Kevin Harvick at plus 800. I think this is a great bet. Kevin Harvick has been pretty poor this season, but I think this is a track to get him on track. He's won 3 straight races here at Michigan. He's won 4 of the last 5 races here at Michigan, and in his last 6 races, he has a second, a first, a seventh, a first, and a first. So this is Kevin Harvick's track. It's a track for 4 drivers. They've won 7 of the last 10 races. They've won 3 straight overall. This is a Ford track. Kevin Harvick theoretically is the best Ford driver. A little more on that a little later, but we're going to ride Ford here at the Michigan Speedway. So Kevin Harvick plus 800 as a winner, and top 5 at plus 105. I think that top 5 really, really nice with no juice there. Even money for Kevin Harvick to finish in the top 5. Speaking of Ford car drivers and who's the best, we're going to ride Joey Logano here and his nice run here at the Michigan Motor Speedway in that back-to-back series last year in 2020. He finished 8th and 5th. He had a win here in 2019. So Joey Logano also really, really nice. We're going to take him as the top Ford car at plus 350. Really good value there. Winner at plus 1200. Top 5 at plus 200. And then top 10 at a minus 250. So we're going to ride Logano all the way through. Winner, top 5, top 10, and top Ford car. You're getting really, really good value there. Logano's probably been the best Ford driver so far this year. We mentioned what a good track this is for Ford cars, so we're going to ride Joey Logano here and hope he makes a good run here and wins us some money. All right, a couple outskirts guys, a couple top 10 bets. Chris Buescher at plus 400 in the top 10. Now, if you can get him in the top 20, you can find that top 20 bet. That's probably a little bit better bet. We're holding off a 2018 sixth place finish here, but overall, he has finished in the top 20 5 of the last 6 times he's raced here. 2 back-to-back 20s in 2020, a 14 and a 16 in 2019. So he's definitely going to be in that mix. Can he crack the top 10? Maybe a couple things break right, but I think the value at plus 400 for him to crack that top 10 is right there. And then we're going to move to Kurt Busch, who is really probably overall the 4th or 5th rated racer on this track. So his top 10 value at minus 145. That's a bit of a steal here. He has back-to-back top 10 finishes at this track in 2020, a 2nd place and a 6th place on this track in 2019 and 2018, and also a 3rd place finish here in 2018. The only time in the recent years that he has not finished in the top 20 was 123rd place finish in 2019. So you got a really solid driver who you know will be in and around the top 10 at minus 145. I don't think you can pass that up. And the next guy we're going to talk about, much in the same mold as Chris Buescher. If you can find a top 20, I do think that's a really, really good bet there. The juice is a little higher on that, so we're going to try to get a little bit of value at the plus 225 in the top 10, and that's Eric Almirola. He finished 6th place in his last race here in 2020. He has a 16, a 17, a 7, 11, and 12. You see how he's always around that top 10, so that plus 225 value right there, really good value for Eric Almirola. So I think he can maybe crack that top 10 and put the money there. If you can find a top 20, I think both Eric Almirola and Chris Buescher are really, really good bets to ride that. And lastly, we mentioned the stats about the Ford car, and this value right here is definitely the value you want to take. Plus 250 for a Ford car to win. We mentioned 7 of the last 10 have been Ford cars, including 3 straight. So I really think that value's right there. I'd stay away from any Toyota car because the years that Ford hasn't won it, Toyota has not won it, Chevy has won it. So stay away from Toyota cars today. But that value at plus 250 for a Ford car winning, I don't think you can turn down. So that's what we got in the NASCAR race today in Michigan Speedway. Let's go to the NFL preseason, and we're going to take the New York Giants today at plus 4.5 for the New York Giants. Really like this value here today for the New York Giants. Think they will be able to win this versus the Browns. I think they'll try to put on a little bit of an offensive show. I think Joe Judge is the kind of guy who wants a good flow going into the regular season, so he'll take this preseason game a little more seriously than Browns. So I think there's pretty good value there in the 4.5 for the New York Giants. All right, let's get into soccer. Last sort of games remaining in soccer today. We're going to go to La Liga. We're going to take Atletico Madrid -1, -125 versus Elche. They're going to be in their home stadium with the fans back off their big La Liga season win title. And this is the game. I think they'll run away with it. Is it dangerous to take Atletico Madrid with a -1 spread? Yes, it is. But I think the fans will push them to a big win today as they cheer on Atletico Madrid. They weren't able to cheer them on last year as they won the La Liga title. This will be their chance to give them their due. So I look for Atletico Madrid to put on a show today versus a hard-working but not a great Elche side. So let's take Atletico Madrid -1, -125. And speaking of underdogs, we're going to go with Levante +260 versus Real Madrid. You saw yesterday with Barcelona, when these teams go in the road in Spain, they struggle a whole lot more. And I think Real Madrid going on the road here to Levante will struggle a whole lot more. So we're going to go with Levante +260 versus Real Madrid, draw no bet. We're going to protect ourselves a little bit here in case, like Barcelona, finds that goal at the back end and ties this game up as Levante tires down and is not able to quite hold off Real Madrid. But Levante at +260 with a draw no bet. Really do think that's a really nice play there. And lastly, we're going to go to Liga in France, and we're going to continue to ride our Marseille. Mixed results so far. Week 1, we got the comeback win. Week 2, we got the comeback loss as they got up 2-0 and then blew that lead. So we're going to still ride Marseille. We really like Marseille, so we're going to continue with them. Marseille -105, draw no vet versus Nice. They're going up to Nice, so that makes it a little trickier, but I just really like this Marseille team. I think they're going to finish second in Liga, so they need to be able to find a way to get these kind of wins. But we'll protect ourselves a little bit on this one too with the draw no bet. So we're going Marseille -105, draw no bet to Nice. All right, that's what we got today on the Winning Daily Show. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe us, find our Facebook page, and be sure to subscribe to us there as well. You can find all the Greenlight Network content on YouTube. We have college football previews coming up. We got the Big 12 and the ACC this week. NFL, we're going to do the NFC South and the AFC South. So a lot of preview stuff coming up to the upcoming football season. Be sure not to miss out on any of that content. So be sure to like and subscribe. I'm Champ Chesterfield. That's our show, and we're out.